Are you really, really ready to heal, to enhance your psychic abilities, to become a Reiki Master teacher? One of my students just finished my course, Connect to Energy, Heal Yourself, Heal to Heal. And she did a testimonial for me. It's about 30 minutes long, but definitely worth your time. If you're ready. A testimonial with one of my clients who took my course, Connect to Energy, Heal Yourself, and Heal to Heal. This is Sue. Hi, Sue.
Hi, Michelle.
How are you today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing good, doing good. So, are you ready?
I am ready.
Good. So, will you tell me a little bit what you think about my course?
Well, I have to say, I was really skeptical at first about how much I would grow and change. I was really, when you told me I would change, when I took this course, I just said, yeah, okay. I didn't realize how much I would, change just my thought process or my energy. I already knew I had gifts, but I didn't realize, just how my thought process might change that, and in a positive way. Like, I just feel like my life has just become a bit more positive.
Yeah.
And I have really enjoyed the course, although, there's been times where, I had to look at myself and heal some things that I didn't even know existed.
Right. I mean, so let's talk about that, things that came up, right? So, I mean, I told you in the beginning that this is a very powerful course, right? And that you're going to be healing yourself at the same time. And then at the end, you will be also become a Reiki Master teacher and also be able to heal other people. But some of the things that you needed to heal, let's talk about that lightly, of course.
Sure. So, I really have pushed a lot of things aside and just moved on with my life, and I thought I had dealt with them, and especially, things I didn't even think of as traumas, or I just thought they were just things that happened to me, and I just moved on, especially things that, were from my biological mother. I was adopted, and so, I realized that I really needed to deal with those feelings and those issues, and it really helped me to become more self-aware of the feelings that I had regarding kind of everything in my life. I was a bit unaware of things. I really haven't dealt with my feelings a lot. As a child, my feelings weren't discussed much. Right. So I feel like that's really helped me to be aware of things, and it really has heightened my abilities very quickly.
Yeah, very quickly.
When you look at it in the scheme of things, in just a couple of months, my abilities have heightened very, very quickly.
Yeah, for sure. There was something else that came up about your job, actually. Let's talk about that a little bit, obviously lightly.
Yeah, just in a sense. So you had said to me, be ready for you. Are you ready for any changes that may come up in your life? You had asked me that before I took this course, and I said, yeah, I'm ready for any changes. And I did not think that the change would be my job. I have been, in my field for 34 years.
Right.
And I did not think that I would ever consider, leaving that before retirement, but I have seriously thought about it, or seriously thought about at least cutting back or leaving to a different type of work that I do, maybe in the same field, but a different place.
But also
because I just feel the environment is toxic.
But also as a healer now. Like you can incorporate
as a healer for sure.
Exactly.
And I can incorporate Reiki,
right.
With my job, like for sure. There's things that I could use it with to help people with my everyday work.
Yeah, agreed. Mm-hmm. So that was definitely surprising. And let's talk more about your psychic abilities. I mean, we already know that you already have psychic abilities, but how much more have they enhanced since you've been doing my course?
Really a lot. Like,
right.
I always knew I had it. I didn't know quite what to do with it. I always had this, like, what am I supposed to do? What should I be doing? I always had this, like, a little bit of asking other people what I should be doing or where I should be with things. And I don't need to ask other people anymore. I already know. Right. And I've been shown things about my past life. I continue to be shown things. I feel like that will only continue to grow. It's just opened up so much more. I don't feel like I need to seek advice really from other people about things other than, like, sometimes just getting help interpreting things that I'm being shown.
Yeah.
Because I still, am sometimes not understanding these things that I'm being shown.
Right, of course. Can I just bring up how you get some of your psychic abilities? Can we talk about that, or are you okay with it? Or
yeah.
Go ahead. So, I mean, you're definitely an empath, that's for sure. I already knew that when we first talked. That was right away. But what else?
So, I definitely, I definitely hear things. So I have clear audience.
Yeah, don't be embarrassed. I mean, at all.
Well,
like, I want you to embrace this.
Words for it.
Oh, right.
Like, I'm trying to think of the correct words. So, I definitely have clear audience. I at times, I have clairvoyance. I sometimes, have the, what is the one where it's the smelling, the clear
oh, yeah.
sense? Is that the one?
I forget how to pronounce it. My pronunciation is not good, but I understand what you're saying. Yes, you can smell things, right?
The ability to find things.
Right.
I often can find things. So, that is heightened as well. So, and I've always known that I had, some mediumship abilities, and I've not really been working on that, although, things are still coming to me.
Yeah.
Even more frequently, but I'm not trying to, practice that at all right now. So, it's definitely opened things up, and I'm just, kind of excited to see what comes next going forward.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, to be honest, like, and you're excited about it.
Everything's wide open for me.
It really is. I mean,
yeah.
You're so excited to tell me things like each and every week. I mean, it's like, you can't believe that this happened. Oh my God, I did this, and I have seen this, and I felt this. And it's actually been an amazing journey with you. You know what I mean? Like, because everybody doesn't have the same gifts, So,
working with you and your gifts, I mean, may I say what else?
Sure.
Okay, so Sue has premonitions in her dreams, which a lot of people do, but hers are also from her past. So she has been, like, through the healing that we've been doing and through my course, she's been remembering things from her past life and this life as a child, infant, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're like, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And, you know, the thing I think that's important to bring up is that I used to have recurring dreams as a child, and now I've been able to make sense of those dreams.
Yeah.
So I had night terrors, or what they called night terrors, as a child, and I can remember some of these dreams, but I never could make sense of it then, and now I've been able to make sense of some of them now.
Most definitely.
And so I feel like some relief about that, you know, and I feel like, you know, it's a little late to help my children with that because they're grown, although if they go through that, I can help them. But I have grandchildren, and so if they're going through that, I can help them with that. And, you know, other people as well, right?
Yeah.
If they're having issues, I can help them. And so, you know, it was really important for me to be able to, you know, figure these things out.
Yeah. You know, I mean, there's so many things that we can talk about, but a couple different things. One of them, we were talking about in one of our sessions, about one of your people leaving, a co-worker, and how you reacted to that and how everybody else reacted. Do you mind if we talk about that? I mean, you don't have to talk about anybody's names or anything, but what happened and how much that changed you.
Oh, okay. So there's a coworker that I've been friends with for quite some time, quite a few years. We've worked in different departments together, and you know, we've seen each other outside of work, and she decided to get a different job. It was a better fit for her family, and in the past when that's happened, because in the line of work that I do, you know, people come and go, you know, but in the department that I work in, it's a specialty department, and so people are highly trained to work there, and it's hard for us to retain staff, and so it's a big loss that she's leaving, and it takes months to train somebody in. It's really going to be hard for us because we have to pick up extra work with her being gone, and so everybody had this reaction was, you know, oh no, she's leaving, and they came and they approached her and begged her to stay, and, you know, really kind of harassed her. And I feel like in the past, you know, I have reacted like that to other people as well. And when she told me, I was so happy for her. And I was like, I am so glad you have this opportunity. And this is going to be so great for you and your family. And I'm sorry to see you go, but, you know, I'm just so happy for you.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't have, you know, any bad thoughts. I thought, well, you know, too bad for us, but I'm so happy for her.
Right.
And I think that was such a different, I mean, I've had feelings like that for other people because they've had, you know, schooling or things that they were accepted into before, where they were really trying to get there. But the fact that she was just leaving for a better job, you know, sometimes is harder to take, right?
Yeah.
So I think, you know, pretty much nobody else had that same reaction, and I think it was just due to me doing all this healing.
Yeah. I mean, it really is. That was more like a selfless act. You weren't even thinking of yourself. You were so happy for her. And this is, you know, on our journey, we become more selfless, you know? So as far as the healing part of this course, what do you think about that? Because you weren't, I mean, I'm going to be honest, you're like, okay, yeah. I mean, you were very, what would we call it? Not open to it, I guess. I mean,
well, yeah, and I didn't want to journal. I didn't like journaling. I didn't want to think that somebody was going to pick it up and read it. Like, I just was like, I wasn't used to it. I was used to, in fact, I don't think I ever told you this part, but like as a kid, if I tried to journal or write in a diary, my mom would read it.
Right.
So I didn't even know how to write about my feelings because I stopped doing that. Like, I didn't know how to do that.
Right.
So, to start doing that and even try to find out what my feelings were about anything, because nobody cared about my feelings before, I had to learn what they were.
Right.
And so I was resistant to doing it.
I know.
I was. I wasn't probably your easiest client. Because I probably thought, well, I can do it this other way.
Right.
Do it.
Actually,
I had to do the work.
Actually, I found that we got along really, really well, and I didn't think that you were hard at all. You just needed a little bit of a push, and trusting me, and the journey that we were about to embark on. So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
well, yeah, I wanted to do it, and I paid the money, so that was a great motivator. You know what I mean? Because I was like, I think I got a lot out of it. It was worth the money.
There you go. I was just going to ask you that. My
honestly,
course. You think it's worth the money?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Because I have gotten way more out of it. And even if I never used Reiki on another person other than myself and my family, it was worth every penny than going to some other, counselor or somebody, because we dug deep.
Right, we did dig deep, right?
I am going to be able to do Reiki on myself. And, and one more thing, I didn't even tell you this. So, I have, chronic pain issues, and, you really haven't been, at least to my knowledge, doing stuff really for my chronic pain issues, but I've been taking a lot less medication for my chronic pain. I really, have just been taking ibuprofen here and there and using, some CBD. And, that is a significant change for me to not have to take any. I was taking something maybe 2 to 3 times a week.
Right.
Which wasn't a lot compared to some people, right? But it's a big difference to me. Where, I don't think I've taken anything for 2 weeks.
Right.
Other than ibuprofen.
Well,
so that's a big difference.
I mean, that's the thing. Even though we're working on your chakras, right? Reiki goes where it needs to go. It heals where it needs to heal. So that's why that has changed for you. It has actually changed for many of my clients that take the course, that their pain lessens.
Yes.
So that's amazing. So
yeah.
Is there anything else that you want to add? We're going to talk about how I teach in a second. So is there anything else that you want to add?
No, I just want to say, I am just so grateful for actually finding this, So I've seen a lot of different places. You could take this Reiki course online, or you could do this or that. And I didn't even tell you this, Michelle. I started some online Reiki course a little bit, and I got through 8 or 9 lessons of their thing. I never told you this.
I guess not.
I've done 8 or 9 lessons, and I was this isn't for me. They were just teaching me the history of Reiki, and that there's energy and, you know, this and that. And they were like, in a few weeks, you're going to get an attunement. And I'm like, no, this is no. And you kept saying, you know, we're going to do all this healing so you can be able to heal other people, and you need to heal yourself before you can heal other people. And I thought, that is what I need. I am not at all prepared to heal other people.
Right.
With this course that they're giving me a Groupon for $39. Like, I'm sorry. Like, it was worth the money to me to do this. And, you know, I am cheap. Like, I'm cheap. I bought this thing on a Groupon. And I am not one to not finish things, and I let it go.
Right.
Like, I've never not finished. Well, I mean, maybe I've not finished something, but I can't think of what it is.
Yeah.
Like, I literally don't let anything go. But I let that one go. It wasn't for me.
Yeah.
And I found you, and you had stayed in my mind, and it just, you resonated with me. And I'm just so, you know, grateful that, you know, you had appeared to me, because a lot of places appear before me, but
right.
for whatever reason you resonated with me, and this was the way that I chose to go.
Yeah.
You know, my guides must have showed it to me, because
right.
You know,
right.
they knew I needed the healing.
Right.
You know,
that's the thing. And I thank you for that. I appreciate that, definitely. So quickly, tell me what you think about me and my teaching and the way I teach, how you feel about me, my energy, things like that, so people will understand a little bit more what comes with the course and how I go about doing things. In your words, of course.
Yeah. So I feel like, you know, we start really, I feel like we just take one thing at a time, right? Like, every week we work on a certain aspect, and it's one thing at a time, and we can go kind of as fast or as slow as we need to. And there's been a time when I've said, hey, I have to slow down a little bit because I don't feel ready.
Right.
Or, you know, there was another time when I was going on vacation and I needed to, you know, do something different, or I had a hectic work schedule and I needed to arrange things. So it wasn't set in stone, but I was highly motivated to keep going forward. And so I just felt like you've been really easy to work with the schedule. And then, of course, anytime I had questions, it's super easy to just text you, or text is the easiest way. You know, I could email you, but text was the easiest way.
Yeah.
And then as I needed the information, you know, we have like this folder and more stuff would become available. So at first I would just get some things, and then more things would become available for me to look at. So it wasn't so overwhelming.
Right.
You know, at first, right? And I felt like that was good too, because there's a lot of information, but that information is always available to me. It's not like, oh, I'm done with the course now.
Right. It's
and
the rest of your life.
You're not available anymore. Right. So
right.
I do feel like that's another piece too, right? Like, I am, you know, just about done, and yet, you know, it's like I'm still just beginning in a sense.
Yeah.
So, you know, of course I'll still have questions, and, you know, I think you'll still be available.
Of course I will. Like, that's a rest of your life thing, you know? Like, you and I'm not putting words in your mouth, but we've talked about it before. I mean, we've had many, many, many conversations. I've always been there for you, this whole entire thing. And that doesn't stop because, you know, we're no longer in that course, you know? So, I mean, it's pretty much the rest of your life. Like, we're connected, you know?
Yeah. So I just feel like I'm really glad that this is the course that I chose, and not some like weekend thing or an online thing where I don't have someone that I can go to with questions. I I feel like I will have questions, and I would like somebody that I can talk to about things, or not,
Right.
But I feel like, I, made a friend, in that way, and, we're connected now. You know so much about me.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So the way I teach, tell me, like, I mean, you're going to have to dig deep here. Like, we're still working on those feelings things. So
yeah. So I feel like the way you teach, well, you really want me to dig deep in my feelings.
Right.
You want me to come up with the answers to the questions, right? You're not trying to put the answers in my head or in my mouth.
Right.
You're not trying to put the words in my mouth.
Right.
So I have to, like, you sometimes will prompt me, but
Right.
but at the same time, like, I have to, like, really think about things for a while, and sometimes I have to go back and think about it for a little bit, and then come back and tell you, you'll give me things to work on, because I'm just, at times I've been stuck. I'll be like, I don't even know. I can't think of anything.
Right.
And you'll say, well, what about this? What about that? Think about these things.
Right.
And you give me these things to think about, and then all of a sudden, all these things will come flooding in.
Yep.
And then I can think about it.
Yeah.
But you've been very patient and and kind, but push me when I need to be pushed.
Yeah.
But not in a mean way.
No, not at all.
I think that there's been a couple times when I've been resistant.
Yeah.
to that, and yet you've been, like, super kind, and just try to talk to me, to have me just keep going forward and not get frustrated.
Right.
So
yeah,
I think that this is an emotional journey sometimes for people, and so I think most times probably it can be emotional, and
it was emotional for you, yes?
So yes,
yeah,
there were plenty of times when it got emotional for me, and I don't always show my emotions.
I know, I was just going to say that,
but it was there was emotion.
Yep.
And you knew it.
Right.
Even though, like, at times, like, I wouldn't just show it, and just being very patient, and kind, and waiting for me to just kind of express those feelings, even though it was difficult for me to do so.
Yeah.
I think not everybody has difficulty expressing their feelings, but I think there are a lot of people who do.
Agreed. Most definitely.
Especially, I think, people of my generation.
Yeah, for sure. Yes, definitely. I think there's just a large amount of people that just don't want to feel, and they've repressed their feelings for whatever reason. I mean, that's where the healing came into, you know what I mean? That's part of your healing, is to bring those emotions, to bring those feelings forward, so you understand them, understand what has happened in your life, so you can, heal those things and then move on. Are you excited about, so we have our attunement here this weekend, actually, and she's going to become a Reiki teacher and master, and she will be attuned to 6 other things. I hold 7 certifications. However, she's only going to be getting her certification in Reiki Master Teacher. Are you excited about it?
I am really excited about it.
I'm excited for you. You already know that. Like, I'm so excited for you, yeah. So, okay. I think that's it. Anything else to add?
I mean, I feel like we've touched on a lot of things.
Yeah.
And, I don't know what else I would add. I just, like I said, I'm really excited to see what comes next, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think things are really just, opening up so much for me.
Yeah, and they're moving, moving fast.
The people around me have noticed,
Yeah.
A change.
And that is so very important. Let's talk about that for one more second, and then I will let you go. About people around you.
So, I mean, even like I have been in stores, which I don't often go to stores. I mean, we're in the middle of a pandemic, and I still am like one who doesn't like, I work in a hospital, so I'm still like trying not to go in and out of places all the time, right? And, but I've been in stores, and even people around me are like, she has such a good energy. And things like that. That's not been something that's typically been said in the past. Like, I've been known for people to say, that I've been positive or things like that, but not always. I mean, I can, be just like anybody else. I don't talk to people. I don't say anything. I've typically been kind of shy, but lately I haven't been as shy either. And I think that has to do with, healing everything. So
yeah, agreed. Definitely.
I really feel like, my coworkers have noticed it. My husband has noticed it, and I've just noticed a change, with other things as well. There's certain energies that I just don't care to be around, and being able to set those boundaries better.
I love that you brought that up. Yeah, like that's one of the things that all of us have to learn is setting that boundaries, and you've been setting those boundaries, and I wish we could talk more about everything that's been going on in your life, because it's very, I would have to say, things that you've done, incredible. Like, don't you agree? I mean, you don't have to go through it or talk about it, but some of the things that you've been through in these last couple months, amazing. Don't you agree? I mean, no, like what you were just telling me earlier about standing up for yourself. It's like something that's, I mean, I know that you sometimes don't do that, obviously, but this particular thing, she just like stood up for herself, and she actually kept her ground, and she didn't let, anybody sway her, literally, even though that you could have gotten in trouble for it, and you still did it. And I think that is beautiful, actually. You set those boundaries, you set that, and, follow through it.
Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, really.
I didn't have fear when I did it. Like, I knew that was the right thing to do.
You were standing in your power. You were standing in your power. That's exactly. Yeah.
And actually, like, I stood literally, like, I kept hearing, like, all throughout, for a long time, for months, I kept hearing, like, stand in your power, stand in your power. And I couldn't understand what that meant, for a long time, until I went through this course.
Yeah.
And it finally hit me, right? Like, we had some realizations, and I finally understood what that meant.
Yeah.
But I really stood in my power when I explained to you what had happened at work. And I'm
actually so proud of you. You
kind of just standing back, like she was, almost afraid to, cross me.
Right.
So.
What, Sue?
She knew I was right.
I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you that you've came that far. Like, really, I think that you should be proud of yourself too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm so grateful. Like I said, I'm so grateful to have found this course and found you to, help me go through these things.
Yeah.
To be able to have come this far.
Yeah, for sure. Agreed. And, we all still have healing to do. It's not that we're healed, but we're further along our spiritual path, our healing path, And when we get those big things out of the way, those mom and pop stuff, you know, it really pushes us forward, you know. It literally opens up so much stuff when we deal with those childhood traumas, you know. So, okay. I won't keep you any longer. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay. I will talk to you.